Hey, what's happening, everybody? So I had a weird morning this morning, didn't really feel like filming, but I'm ready now. I got a bunch of stuff from Walmart and Lowe's to finish up the wiring on all this and get everything in place, and I got some plastic containers so I can start loading this thing up. My goal is to get out of here the day after Labor Day, or the day after Labor Day, so the traffic's not all crazy. And I guess there's a bunch of wildfires in eastern Washington and Montana and stuff, so I might have to change my route, but we'll see what happens. Yesterday, I installed a bunch of stuff. I moved the battery over so that it would be in a little bit safer spot, and I was actually adjusting the blue lights that go under all the cabinets, and I was getting ready to tape them up, and I broke them. So that sucks, and I don't have time to order new ones, and I really don't want to spend the money on them. They were kind of a novelty thing. I mean, yeah, it made it easier to see what's under everything at night, but I mean, I can really just use my my flashlight. I got that thing on my head I was just wearing a second ago. So right now I'm gonna install this guy right up here, and I already tested it to make sure that even with these L brackets installed, it's not gonna hit this thing. So what I'm gonna do is unscrew these a little bit and then stick these L brackets on here, and actually I'm gonna do it this way. This way. Yeah, I'll put them on back. And then I got these nuts and bolts here, which looks like is going to be a little more difficult because the bolt's a little too big for the plastic. I'll have to screw it through the plastic first. So yeah, these brackets are going to go like this, and then I'm going to screw them up here so that this is recessed far enough back that when I have all my plugs, they're not like sticking out. They're all the way in, so they won't be in the way. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Alright, now this guy's on here really sturdy. Nice. So now I've got these all these clips for the conduit to put on, but first I'm going to go around it with electrical tape just to make sure the wires don't pop out. I'm just going to go around this whole thing, go all the way back, and I've also got all these wires back here I've got to hold up so they're out of the way. And see how I moved the battery over and I strapped it into this post and this post, which are separate things. And also there's the box that goes right here. So if I have to slam on my brakes really, really hard, or I run into something, then this battery's not going to fly up into the front and hit me. I hope. I mean, these things are both like bolted down pretty good, but it is wood. I don't know. It seems like this setup's definitely a lot safer than it was. Plus now I got all this room over here where I can pass through and get to the back area. I'll probably store surplus food and stuff back here. Most of the food's gonna go right in here. Actually, this water container, when it's not being used, will be right here. And then I want to get a container right here and another one right here. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet, but I didn't find anything at Walmart that looked like it would work really well, but I'll figure something out. Alright, so I got all my wiring cleaned up. Look at this, nice and pretty like, and it's sturdy and not in the way as much as possible anyway. I might actually put one up here. No, that'll be alright. So yeah, this is all figured out. All the wiring's done. Now I just gotta clean it out, and I got these containers, which are just the right size to fit in here. I got two of them. One of them I'll use for food and one I'll use for something else. And then I'll have another food one up there, as I was saying. Yeah, this is good. This is good. We're actually getting somewhere. Oh, by the way, I put all these stars up last night. All these little dots are glow-in-the-dark stars, and the lights, the fairy lights, are just enough to make them glow like kind of subtly. You can see them when you turn the lights off. It's really cool. I'm really glad that I did that. It looks weird during the day though. Look at this. Oh man, I almost forgot. I have the piece of wood that goes up there. I cut that out earlier. I gotta do that before I clean up. Alright, so not the prettiest thing in the world. Like right here is a big gap, and there's nothing I can do about that because right here is all empty space, and this piece is like warped up. Left this thing out in the sun for a few hundred plus degree days all day, and the only parts that have separated are right here, and it just keeps coming off, and I keep pushing it back, and then it falls down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm either gonna get screws with big washers on them to hold it in that look nice somehow. Maybe with those snap caps that Mike from Backroads Vanner was talking about, or get some kind of bar or something, like screwing all the way across to hold this in. It's not too big of an issue right now. It's kind of just for looks, but it does look really bad that this vinyl keeps sagging off. So it's pretty much anything upside down that's not supported is what comes unglued because the rest of it has stayed on really well, even in the 100+ degree heat out in the sun all day. Oh, dude, I forgot about the piece that goes back here. All right, it's starting to rain, but I want to show you guys real quick because I'm sure somebody's going to ask me how I did this. So here's my cloth, and I'm folding it in half, and I want the white on the outside because when it gets hot out, the black will absorb. If it was black on the other side, it would absorb the heat. So white out for me. So it's folded in half here, and now I'm going to use these self-tapping screws with a big wide face arm. It's got like a built-in washer on there. I'm going to go through the middle of this thing on the back side and screw it in, and that way it'll fold over and I won't be able to see the screws from the inside, and it'll look nice and neat. I'm going to mate it up against this on the right up here. I just heard there's a real big hurricane coming to Florida right now. I hope all my friends in Florida are doing all right. Hope you stay safe and your property's safe. Right, so now I have this thing mounted up here. So there's these two tabs back here. This one, and they exist on both sides. And what I'm gonna do, and this is what I did before. And by the way, I had this I did this exact same thing the first time I built this van, and it made a huge difference because when I removed it, when I did my last build, the one before this, I could feel the heat coming in like hardcore. So that's where I learned how important it is to have curtains over the Reflectix and not just have Reflectix, even if I had the felt stuff glued on one side. So I'm going to run this through here, and the reason why I'm doing that is because it'll hold this cabinet back a little bit. Plus, this paracord will give me something to hang whatever I want from. I can hang a flashlight from it or whatever, anything I want, which is definitely a cool thing. I did this, I don't know what this knot is called, but it's slippable and it's really strong, and it gets tighter as you put pressure on it. And now I'm just going to light the end of this paracord. Wet my fingers, wrap it up. That'll keep it from fraying and separating. Now I can just put this part through here, and we'll get this part down on the bottom. And start cranking on it. Get it nice and tight. Alright, so now this thing is way too wide, and I'm going to cut it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the inside line like inside here, so that's a little bit bigger than here, so that it can wrap around kind of all the way, you know what I mean? And then once I stick it in this little slot, it'll be like, it'll kind of make it bunch up just a little bit. Alright, so now when I open up the back doors, all you'll see is this big white panel, and you won't be able to see all the stuff that's inside. So it'll be a little more stealth that way, because I do open up the back doors when I'm in parking lots. So, yeah, it'll be good to have, like, the inside hidden. Nobody will really know what's in there. Maybe they'll think it's a sex dungeon or something, and they'll be afraid of it, won't want to mess with it. Who knows? But you could also just, like, lift it up and peel back the Reflectix a little bit to see out the window still, too. So it's not like the windows are totally blocked. I can still see out all of them. I just have to move the blinds to be able to look out. And they're so tinted that you won't be able to see. It'll block all the light and heat, and it'll keep the heat in as well, too, when it's cold out. Alright, so check that out. It is good to go. I'm so glad that these colors match so well. So it does feel smaller out here. You know what's really interesting, though? These colors, these light colors and the earth tones, the tans and everything, make this thing feel so much bigger than it did before. Before, it felt like I was trapped and like constrained in it. And I think another part of that is the top part being totally open, because before I had this whole area over here, which just made it feel so small, and I just felt like I was trapped in here. But now it feels like it's wide open and bigger than it actually is. It feels bigger than it did when it had nothing in it, and I attribute most of that to the color selection, but also having this top area totally open, and it feels even bigger when the blinds are open and you can see out the windows. So I just thought that was an interesting thing to note. Yeah, so it's pretty much, I've got the Reflectix already cut for these two side windows and the two very back windows, but not for these ones. So what I'm going to do, and I think I'm going to do this tomorrow, yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and I'm going to start packing up tomorrow and get everything in here. But I'm going to cut out the Reflectix for these side ones here, these like back side ones, that one and that one. And I want to put magnetic strips on there so that it adheres to this, to the metal frame, so that it really sticks in there and traps the heat in when it's hot and doesn't let the heat out when it's cold. And I'd like to do that on all the windows, except for, yeah, and the back ones too. So I gotta get some magnetic strips or some really high power magnets to do that. I think Walmart's probably gonna be the place to get that for cheap. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on it. I gotta get to Salem. So yeah, it's kind of like race against time right now, just hurrying up and getting this thing done. So yeah, let me check the containers that I bought for the back and see if I should get another one. So as I hoped, one container will fit back here, and then I can have another one right here, and let's see if the other one fits right here. Maybe I should end up getting 3 of them. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Another one will fit right here. Yeah, then I won't have room for my girl's suitcase. What do I do about that? She'll only be here for 2 weeks. Yeah, I'll get one more of these. One of them will be for food, one of them will be for clothes, and one of them will be for camping gear and miscellaneous. I'll probably keep like my off-season clothes in this one that goes back here, and food in this one. You know what? I might get a shorter one for up there so that I can access it from the other side. Check this out. Because if I move this bench here back a little bit, then I'll be able to just like reach in here and grab food. And with this height, it'll be a little difficult. So I'll get one of these that's the same size but shorter, and it'll be perfect for right there to store food, especially like bulk food that I don't use every day. And then I gotta figure out these 2 spots, because one of these is gonna be like pots and pans and silverware and all that stuff, and the other one I want to be like food. So I'll actually have room for a ton of food in here. A ton of food. So yeah, I've got my 2-week thing. I'm good to go on that. And then I also have the fridge so I can keep stuff refrigerated. And yeah, dude, this van, I love this van so much, especially with this new build. God, I love this van. Yeah. Well, I think that's it for the day, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Love yourself.